Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I have an exciting one for you guys because behind me I have one of the all new colors to the 2025 Chevy Colorado lineup, and that is Snowdrift Metallic. Now I have to say, first impressions of this color are extremely positive. Here in direct sunlight, you see a little bit of the metallic flake come through, but it is certainly a lot more bluer than I originally thought, at least going back to my 2025 changes video where I detailed all the changes across the lineup. Make sure you guys check that out if you're curious about exactly what changed trim by trim. But this color is, I think, going to be a real winner to the midsize truck space, at least in the current generation. Now, of course, going back to the 2025 changes, this truck seen in this video is going to be a Z71 trim level, but they kind of overhauled a lot of the packaging for 2025. So made a lot more equipment standard, consolidated the amount of packages that are offered on not only Z71, but LT and other configurations as well. Made Turbo Max standard on the base work truck. So gone are the lower output 2.7 liter turbo engines. Every Colorado for 25 is going to have the high output version with the 8-speed automatic. And overall, like I said, they got rid of convenience package 1 and 2 on the Z71, basically made the convenience package 2 standard and then have the convenience package 3 as still an option. And this one seen behind me is pretty much most of the options and features you can get on a Z71, which brings the price just over $50,000, including destination, as seen in this video. So without further ado, let's take a quick walk around tour for 2025, see what the Colorado has to offer. So obviously the truck in front of us is finished in a new Snowdrift Metallic exterior with the black and red two-tone leather Z71 specific interior. Now I've seen a flurry of activity, no pun intended, of this color posted out there on some Facebook groups and the internet as dealerships start to receive it. But you guys let me know your opinions on it down in the comment section below. Like it, love it, have no opinion, kind of indifferent about it. Let me know your thoughts on it, but I think it is going to be a real winner. Now, starting at the front end of the Z71, as this one is equipped, you're going to have the LED projector headlights, both low and high beam, LED turn signals and daytime running lights up top, and of course the LED fog lights a little bit farther down on the front fascia. You have the front recovery points buried underneath the gray plastic trim with the aero diffuser for a little bit better aerodynamics and fuel efficiency. Gloss black across the center of the grille section with the Z71 badging. Front, rear, side 360 cameras. This one does have the optional technology package, and then the black bow ties are going to be standard on Z71 trucks. You have the kind of aggressively styled front hood, which has been found on all Colorados of this generation. I really do like that. And then coming around to the side profile, this is one of the aspects I did want to touch on in this video, because gone is the option for the smaller plastic fender flares for the 2025 Z71s. So if you want those plastic fender flares for the front and rear fenders, you do have to opt for a ZR2 because you can no longer option those smaller wheel flares. They remove that option entirely for the small deer, along with the option of the red seat belts on the interior, which I think is a little bit of a bummer. Really did like the red seat belts, but unfortunately those two things are no longer available on this particular truck. Now coming to the wheel and tire setup, this one does have the gloss black 20-inch alloy wheels with the standard all-terrain tire. It is going to be a 255, 55, 20-inch Bridgestone Dueler AT all-terrain, so a pretty mild all-terrain, but certainly should give you a little bit of additional capability, which matches this trim level. Gloss black mirror caps, no turn signal integration, but you do have the cameras, as I mentioned, as part of that technology package. Standard chrome badging on both of the two front doors. Heated mirrors, blind spot detection on this particular one with the proximity entry on both of the two front door handles. Backing up to the side profile, this gives you a little bit better look at the color, how it compares to some of the background colors in this video. Z71 decal on the bedside. I have mentioned some build quality decal placed on the wrong spec of truck in the past, one on the left side and then a totally different decal on the right side. That was an interesting thing, but I think GM has got that dialed in at this point in production of this generation. But out back, you have partial LED tail lamps, so you have the LED running lights, but incandescent brake, turn signals, and reverse lights up here in this housing, which is a little bit unfortunate that it's not a full LED like some of the competition. Gloss black rear bumper with the integrated side steps, very handy feature. Rear backup sensors, standard advanced trailering package for 2025 on Z71. Nice embossed or stamped Chevrolet, Colorado badging. Then we do have the backup camera, the integrated lockable tailgate, and then this is going to be the easy lift lower version with Stowflex, which we'll be taking a look a little bit later in this video. But overall, really a handsome mid-size truck. I really like the styling in this generation, and this one, the way it is equipped is, you know, pretty much loaded up with all of the core features and options that one can get on this one. So let's go and take a quick look at the window sticker so you guys know exactly how this one is equipped before we jump onto the interior. So take a look at the window sticker. As I mentioned, the Z71 basically starts out as a convenience package 2 equipped truck as standard, which means it did get a little bit more expensive as the standard base MSRP, but you are getting those features as standard, whether you actually want them or not. Now, there still is going to be several different options and features that you can equip on top of that, such as the technology package, sunroof, the convenience package 3, 20-inch black wheels that this particular one has, the spray-on bed liner, and Snowdrift metallic is going to be an additional upcharge, which brings the total MSRP on this particular truck to $50,485, including destination. So taking a look on the interior, this is the black and adrenaline red two-tone leather interior. Because this is convenience package 3, you would get the two-tone material on the base Z71. Now, starting out here on the door panel, this is pretty much unchanged from those previous model years. So up top, you have the hard touch plastic upper, nice silver metallic accent trim, and then this is all going to be that rubberized, very textured, somewhat soft touch material with the red accent stitching on all of this portion right here. Unfortunately, I think this is a little bit too rough of a material, and if you want a smooth leather type, you can get the GMC Canyon, which uses a totally different material and also has some different interior colors, but not a huge fan of this, both on the door panels and some of the interior center console bits. You do have power windows, mirrors, and locks, with the driver's side window being automatic up-down, two-person memory driver's seat with the bright chrome door handle pull, a good amount of door storage, although it's kind of just one bottle here, and a little bit of additional storage up top. And then the technology package now comes standard with the Bose premium audio system inside it, and you can tell those trucks by that little badging up there on the center dashboard. Now, coming to the driver's seat is going to be a full power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. There's going to be the leather seats with the perforations in the center, the nice red accents here on the backrest portion, and then a matching headrest. And then there's going to be a look at the dashboard, which is pretty much the same since the 2023 model years. So taking a look here on the interior, this is going to look very familiar if you've seen some of my other videos in the past model years and what I've created with the Chevy Colorado. So overall, there's really not too much change for 2025, but as noted for 2024, this 11-inch digital cluster, which was formerly only standard on ZR2, was made standard across the board to replace the smaller 8-inch digital cluster, which personally I think is a huge upgrade. I'm glad GM realized that it wasn't worth maybe a little bit of cost savings to put that smaller gauge cluster in, and, you know, made this one standard last year. But outside of the packaging changes for 2025, really going to remain mostly unchanged. So in front of the driver, this is 11-inch in size, as I mentioned, as controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel, as well as some functionality on the actual infotainment screen. You can replace the left side with different metrics. So up here it has the 2-trip information. You can put your tire pressure, things like that on it. In the middle, you have your digital speed readout with tachometer. Pressing the steering wheel button will replace it with 2 dials. So you have a traditional speedometer on the left, tachometer on the right, all of the trip information in the middle. This is an updated layout that was not previously available, so nice to see they added that. Then you have the Google Maps integration, which you can put the full maps. You can also put your Apple Maps up here if you wish to do so. And then pressing it one more time, you have the dedicated off-road pages, which I think is pretty cool. And then finally, that brings you to your driver assist. You have the clean layout, and then back to the default one, which we started this video on. So overall, some more digital layouts from that of especially the first model year, but even I think 2024 trucks. So really like that small improvement. Coming back to the steering wheel, this is going to be a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel with red accent stitching and some nice silver trim at the bottom. You see the heated steering wheel button right there. On the left side, you have your adaptive cruise control, distance, and forward collision avoidance assist buttons. So this truck has the technology package, which comes with the camera-based adaptive cruise control. And on the right side, you have your audio, multimedia, digital gauge cluster, and heated steering wheel buttons. And on the backs of the steering wheel, you have your rocker switches for volume and tune on the actual infotainment system. Coming to the wipers, this is just going to have a normal intermittent wipers. Nothing here on the right side. To the left of the steering wheel, we have your gauge dimming as well as your integrated trailer brake controller as part of that standard advanced trailering package. Manual tilt telescopic steering column. No heads-up display or anything out there, but you do have the LED light that will project up onto the glass for the forward collision and some of the other driver assistance tech. Like I said, Bose premium audio system on this particular truck. And then coming over to the infotainment system, we have your 11-inch infotainment system with Google built in, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs, and the 360 cameras on this one because it has that technology package. Remember, your light controls are going to be found up here. So there's your main headlight controls. You can actually bring up the separate controls page, which has your traction control, auto high beam assist, fog lights, hill descent control, park assist on off. All of those are going to be on the screen. You have your dedicated volume and power knob, dual zone automatic climate control, heated and ventilated front seats, which I absolutely love that the Colorado offers ventilated seats where some of the competition unfortunately does not. All 4 windows can roll down via this button, engine stop start on off, hazard buttons, lane keeping assist, and then the auxiliary switch, which you can hook up one additional accessory to receive power and toggle that switch on and off with that. Very nice to see they offer that. USB-A and USB-C data inputs, wireless charging pad here in the center. This one being a Z71 does have the 2-speed transfer case with an automatic mode, so you can toggle the different drive modes and the transfer case all in this rotary dial right here. Now, different drive modes are going to be normal, tow haul, off-road, and then back to normal. So that is basically it. No sport drive modes or anything like that, unfortunately, in this one. But you can see a nice little graphic right there. Electronic parking brake, gear shifter on the kind of right side of the center console. This is all going to be that rubberized semi-soft touch material on the doors, as well as here on the center armrest lid. 2 cup holders down there. This is the proximity key fob with remote start built in. And then taking a look inside, we do have a little partial shelf, which you can remove out. And there's going to be one 12-volt outlet with additional storage space in the center console. Up top, we have our black headliner, microphones, LED visor illumination, auto dimming interior rearview mirror, OnStar passenger airbag, overhead incandescent lighting, and then power sunroof controls, because this one does have the separately optional $1,000 sunroof, which of course does have the manual shade, which you can close right there for a little bit of additional sound deadening and or to keep the light out. So that is basically going to be a look here at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a look out back. So taking a look here at the back seat, some of the materials will fall through from the front, but not all of them. So here on the door panel, most of it's going to be hard touch black plastic, with this small portion right here being that same soft touch texture material. We have bottle storage, and then coming to the seating surfaces, this is of course all going to be the same leather with even the same red accents on the backrest. The headrests do flip down for a little bit of better visibility, so I like that feature. And overall space is going to be fairly class competitive with the other midsize offerings in their current generations. There's going to be a quick look at the front dashboard. Out back, we have 2 cup holders, AC vents, USB-A and USB-C charge ports, and then a 120-volt outlet all the way down here at the floor, which is also going to be found out in the bed. 2 mat pockets on both of the front seats. In terms of the seating materials and the comfort, I actually love the back seats here in the Chevy Colorado and Canyon. I think it's a little bit softer than other trucks in this segment. And in terms of space, this is my approximate seating position. You can see I have maybe 1 to 2 inches depending on how the seat's set. My feet can fit underneath the front seats, but it's a little bit tighter. And then headroom with the sunroof in particular is not terrible back here because it does slope back up and I have about 2 inches of headroom. But when you look forward here, just kind of looking towards the front of the truck, the headliner actually dips down quite a bit right here for the center dome light. With the sunroof and without it, obviously it's just going to be a flat, higher headliner. So really not a bad place to be. Like the AC vents, like the cup holders. It does have a center armrest with 2 cup holders here for amenities. And like I said, you do have the flip down headrest and a manual sliding rear window with rear defroster function. So unfortunately not a power sliding window, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Like the flip down headrest. And then underneath the second row seat, you're gonna have additional storage space. You actually gain access to a small amount of under-seat storage kind of on the sides or above the jack and roadside toolkit, but not quite as much space as some of the other competition. So overall, not a bad place to be and a fair amount of amenities. Now coming to the bed space, of course we have the easy lift lower tailgate as I mentioned, which is a little bit slow to release, I think, until it gets a little bit more broken in. This one has the optional spray and bed liner. You have the integrated ruler measurements here on the edge of the tailgate, and then we have Stowflex, of course. Flipping these levers will give you access to the integrated storage. There is a threaded mount for some of the additional accessories, and I believe there's a rubber O-ring for a drain plug if you need to drain moisture or water out of there. And then taking a look at the bed, this is going to be a 5-foot bed, or right at 5 foot, depending on the dimension you're looking at. Then you have tie down points, 2 in every corner. You have the 120 volt 400 watt outlet on the right side of the bed. And overall, like I said, very class competitive in terms of volume and cargo carrying capacity. And then taking a look at the passenger front seat, materials are going to be the same as the driver's side, obviously. Unfortunately, no power passenger seat offered, so this does not have height adjustment, just slide and recline. If you want that, you can get that on the GMC Canyon and select trim levels. There's a look at the dashboard. You don't have a damp glove box, nor is it lit, so just a standard plastic glove box right there. And overall, yeah, that's going to be a look here at the interior of the 2025 Chevy Colorado. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what powers this particular vehicle before wrapping this video up. So under the hood of every Colorado for 2025, you're going to find the same 2.7 liter Turbo Max turbo 4-cylinder engine paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This puts out 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque through the rear wheels or all 4 wheels if you select 4-wheel drive or use the automatic transfer case setting. Now, fuel economy and all of those aspects of the engine are, like I said, very class competitive. It's 19 combined, 17 MPG city, 21 out on the highway. And I don't think that differs all that much from the full-size trucks with the exact same powertrain. So there's not really a huge advantage going for the smaller mid-size truck if you're looking for this engine in, say, the full-size Silverado. But in terms of power levels, this is going to be one of the more torquier options in the mid-size truck segment, no matter if you're looking at some of the more off-road capable trucks such as ZR2 and the competition there, or some of the more basic LT work truck Colorados, which compete, of course, with some of the other turbocharged 4-cylinders from other manufacturers. So overall, very class competitive, can tow, I believe, up to 7,000 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, in this or similar configurations. So that's gonna do it here for this quick walk around tour of the 2025 Chevy Colorado Z71 finished in the new Snowdrift metallic exterior. Like I said, let me know what you think of the exterior down in the comment section below. And let me know also what you think of the equipment and packaging changes for 2025. Make sure you check out that video where I covered trim by trim and the full pricing across the board if you want to know more about that. But there was, a few $1,000 increase in terms of the base MSRP for Z71. But if you're looking at a fully loaded truck and comparing it to 2024, the increase was a much smaller, I believe well under $1,000. So overall, I don't think there's a huge difference depending on the spec that you're looking for, but obviously there is less to choose from. So you're going to see more similar configurations on dealership lots because ultimately, like I said, there's not as many to choose from. So in terms of the other content I made on the channel, make sure you check out the Ford Ranger versus Chevy Colorado driving video where I compare the two trucks side by side. And I think the roominess and overall design aesthetic is different from that of other trucks. I think there's pros and cons to this. There's some features that you can't get in other trucks, such as the ventilated front seats. That's not available on any Ford Ranger, for example. I like the 11-inch digital cluster, and in some ways I like the simplicity of this truck because everything seems to be laid out fairly ergonomically and has its own location, where some of the other midsize trucks can get a little bit more complicated or just have a little bit more going on in the interiors, thus are a little bit more busy. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. As always, if you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And with all that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.